So I reduced my endometriosis pain by 90% with diet changes. But honestly, that didn't fix the hardest part, the emotional toll of watching friends get pregnant while I was still struggling. Today, I am sharing the exact diet that worked. And next week, we're talking about infertility jealousy because nobody prepares you for that. So, for years, I planned my entire life around my period, right? Then I changed what was on my plate. And within 90 days, I got my life back. I am breaking down the exact foods that reduce my inflammation and the ones that were secretly making it worse. So, grab your coffee, tea, or water, and let's get started. So, let me take you back to where I was, right? Because if you're watching this right now, you might be in that same dark place. I was 34 and my world had gotten very small. Every month I'd have maybe 2 good weeks and then 7 to 10 days where I literally couldn't function. The pain wasn't just cramps. It was this deep burning ache through my entire pelvis region. I canceled plans constantly. My friends stopped inviting me out. My husband would find me in the fetal position in bed. And this is what broke me. Every doctor said the same thing. This is normal. Take some painkillers. One doctor actually told me that I would feel better after having kids, which to me, now in hindsight, it was just cruel, especially because we all know that endo makes it harder for you to conceive, right? That's when I decided to just stop waiting on doctors to fix me and started researching what I could control. So that night, I went down an internet rabbit hole about inflammation. Here's what clicked. Endometriosis is a chronic inflammatory condition, right? What we eat directly impacts how much inflammation is in our bodies. My diet was pretty typical. The American diet, processed foods, sugary snacks, and definitely not enough vegetables or protein. The idea of changing everything just felt overwhelming. But you know what? I had done it before, remember? To try to manage my PCOS symptoms, I went vegan and I did this before. At this point in time, I was desperate. I decided right then and there, you know what? I'm done looking for magic pills and I'm going to take control starting with my next meal. First was what I had to eliminate. At that point in time, I was drinking lots of wine. I was eating lots of chocolates. So I've always said that ice cream is my kryptonite. And that was for sure true. I loved eating ice cream. So I knew that I needed to eliminate that in order to lower my inflammation. So although the ice cream was delicious, it was loaded with trans fat and additives that made inflammation worse. Number 2 was red meat. So research shows a link between eating a lot of red meat and higher endometriosis risk. I went from eating it 3 times a week approximately to maybe once a month. Number 4 was dairy. I personally found that dairy triggered my bloating and the pain. Again, it wasn't just ice cream, it was the cheese. I loved eating cheese. So I switched to almond milk and I started making my own vegan cheese. It was time consuming, but you know what? It was delicious. Now, for the good part, what I added in. This is where I felt like I was truly healing from the inside out. Number 1 was leafy greens. I loaded up on spinach. Now, if you like kale or Swiss chard, you can do that for yourself. So I loaded up because spinach is packed with vitamins that fight inflammation. So I started adding them to smoothies, omelets, salads, literally everything. Number two, fatty fish, like salmon and sardines. I grew up eating sardines to begin with, so that was something that wasn't really a change for me, but I started eating more of that, as those things are loaded with omega-3 fatty acids, which directly fights inflammation. So I aimed for at least 3 servings a week. Number three, berries, blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, all the berries. I ate them like candy. They're loaded with antioxidants that protect your cells from inflammation damage. Number four, turmeric and ginger. These spices are anti-inflammatory powerhouses. So I started adding turmeric to my morning eggs. I started making golden lattes, which are also amazing for fighting inflammation. I used to make one every single night before going to bed. Number five, nuts and seeds. I love cashews. I've always loved cashews and almonds, but I also started adding flax seeds and chia seeds as my go-to snacks because they're packed with omega-3s and fiber. That was huge for managing inflammation. So this wasn't a restrictive diet. That wasn't the point. The point was to nourish my body with what I needed to heal, right? So I concentrated on adding good things to my diet as opposed to just eliminating everything that was bad for it. Managing my physical pain was, of course, life-changing, but the emotional pain of infertility, that's a whole different beast. If you've ever felt jealous when a friend announces their pregnancy while you're dealing with endo and TTC, I'm actually making a video next week talking about just that. So hit that subscribe button so you catch it. Now, within 3 months, the change was undeniable. That constant deep ache in my pelvis, it started fading. My periods went from being debilitating to manageable. I could get up, I could go to work, I could still live my life without the constant pain. The extreme bloating and the fatigue that used to knock me off my feet, it was gone. I had energy again. My husband even said, "You have your sparkle back. I love seeing you like this." I also started doing gentle yoga, going for walks, things that I wasn't doing as much since getting married because life happened. I entered it back into my life because I realized that this is a lifestyle change. You have to make a conscious decision to do the things that are good for your health, especially when you're dealing with endometriosis. I went from feeling like a prisoner in my own body to finally feeling in control. I'm not saying I was cured. Endometriosis was still there, but my quality of life improved dramatically. So if you're out there struggling with endometriosis, please know you're not alone. And there's hope. Shifting to a whole foods anti-inflammatory diet was the key that unlocked a new reality for me. It was all about reducing the foods that cause inflammation and embracing the ones that fight it. But if you're tired of being dismissed, of just managing symptoms with painkillers, and you're ready to take control of your life, give your body what is good for it. You deserve to feel good in your body. But here's what I've learned. Healing the body is just step one. The mental and emotional toll of infertility, while everyone around you seems to get pregnant easily, that's what we're diving into next week. So drop a heart down below if you felt infertility jealousy too. And I'll see you in the next video. If this video resonated with you, please hit that like button and share it with someone who needs to hear this message today. And check out my other video on supplements that I did last week. It's linked here. Okay. Thank you so much for letting me share a little piece of me and my heart. And I hope that this brings you peace and encouragement at this point in time in your life. Thank you so much for watching. Mwah, 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 mwah. I love you. See you next week. Bye.